Welcome to the Emerging Lawyer series at the Coffee Conversation Show powered by the Emerging India Forum, TEIF, and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is Contracts, Clean Energy, and Solitude. We have with us Ajay Yadav, Head of Legal Department, Greenline. With over 2 decades of dynamic experience as an in-house counsel, law firm professional, and independent advisor, Ajay brings unparalleled insights into legal risk management, LNG logistics, regulatory frameworks, and corporate compliance. A proud alumni of Punjab University, Chandigarh, Ajay's work sits at the intersection of law and India's green energy transition. Join us as we dive deep into the life and mind of a lawyer who has mastered the art of safeguarding business while steering through complex regulatory terrains. So, welcome Ajay to today's coffee conversation.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me over.
So, friends, we are at AWFI's co-working space, and it's Saturday. It's raining in Mumbai, and it will be lovely. A conversation over a cup of coffee, and but bhajia नहीं है, so वो बाद में हम अजय जी के साथ में डिनर पे खाएंगे. Okay. So, friends, I'm Lan Amir Virani, host at Coffee Conversation, legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. We help law firms, corporate legal, startup SMEs with world-class technology, software licensing, and tech training solutions. So let me explain you, Ajay. There are 3 rounds: professional journey, personal journey, and a surprise rapid fire where you will be in the hot seat, like you had coffee at Karan, and you have to be witty, fun, and quick, and here's your gift. So don't worry. I'm autographed already. I know you will be able to crack it. So my first question, Ajay, you have spent over 22 years in the legal domain. How has your journey shaped your approach to in-house legal strategy today?
Okay. So 22 years, or by now it is 23 or 24 years now, because we are sitting in 2025. So I started in 2001. So it has been 24 years now. So far, you have asked as to what my personal journey and how it has affected or how it has shaped my outlook on the strategy to deal with legal issues and challenges and all that. So my journey tells me that growth is never going to be like a windfall. It will always be like incremental, slowly the progress will take place. So you basically have to be very patient. You have to be diligent. You have to be focused. You have to be earnest in whatever you do. So earnestness, humility, and focus, that is how I approach my work, and with patience, so that, there are so many factors which are to be managed. Like you have to manage your colleagues, your leadership, the external environment, so many things. And you also have to provide a solution for that particular thing. So patience, I believe, is the key, and rest follows if you are patient enough. So that is my answer to your question.
So let's dive deep into the conversation, Ajay. You have worked with both law firms and now corporate legals. What are some key differences in mindset and responsibility between these two work?
See, as I told you, that patience is the key. So patience is a key, which is like something which is an asset and a value for you, which helps you throughout your life, in whatever endeavor you are doing, whether personal, professional, or any. So, but in the law firm, the focus is different. You are serving a client. You have to earn a fee, and the client satisfaction is the supreme thing. Whereas in the legal department, what happens when you are in-house counsel? You are somebody who is considered as the epitome of, you are the knowledge center for, so anything and everything pass through you, and they believe in whatever you do. So I think it is when you are doing it. So at both the places, the responsibility is massive, and you have to discharge it in a in a law firm. You have to deal with it like a professional. something is coming and you have to value it in terms of money as to what fee you are going to earn from a particular assignment of work, and accordingly you basically uh, give give your focus and attention to a given work depending upon the kind of fee you're going to earn from that. So it is more of a professional and money oriented uh, attitude also. But when you are in house, the approach is different. You are essentially in a relationship of a trustee. It is, you are like a trustee. You are working for the benefit of your organization, your promoters, and everybody. So I believe that is how you you work, and it is a different kind of a responsibility. Here you don't have to worry about money and all that. You just have to find solutions for the given situations and problems, and I believe that is the primary difference between the two.
Ah, beautifully explained. So, Ajay, someone involved in M&A and cross-border deals, what's your take on the evolving corporate landscape in India?
I think it is too big a canvas actually, and so M&A essentially depends upon the condition of the market and situations and world over how the economic situation is. So, and it is more a question which is to be asked from a professional who's having a background in finance and business and all that. I am somebody who's essentially a lawyer, so I believe I'm not that much qualified to respond to that question. So that is my answer to that.
Wow. Okay. So, Ajay, what unique legal challenges arise in the LNG and clean energy sectors, especially considering regulatory compliance? And how
Yeah,
do you navigate them?
yeah. So LNG, for that matter, the government or the Union Parliament came up with the act called the PNGRB Act, which is the regulator for our sector, which PNGRB stands for Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board. So natural gas, since it is a part of that, and initially the focus of the government has been in setting up the city gas distribution uh, companies or entities all across the country, and a particular zone where gas is to be distributed that by that entity is called a geographic area. So in that geographic area, what happens is that, so since the focus was towards that, and it is also, so it is, the gas is distributed through laying the gas pipelines. Now, when you lay gas through gas pipelines, what happens is that a lot of investment is to be made basically.
Yes.
So when that investment is to be made, what happens is that, so government also remained very supportive and very supportive for these companies. So in their over enthusiasm, I believe somewhere the objective of, so what they have done is that they have given two kind of things. One is the exclusivity, which is for 5 years and 25 years. And so basically what happens is that that particular entity has can regulate or can operate in that market exclusively for these two periods. Now what happens is that this exclusivity somehow has created kind of monopolies in that particular market. So I believe that has created that has not helped the competition in the market. There are essentially two kinds of natural gas supplying models. One is your through pipelines, and the other is called the virtual pipelines. So gas supplied through cryogenic tankers, so which is basically the surface transportation, and you basically meet the requirement of those entities or those business units which are still not reached by the gas pipelines, because they are either located remotely and the laying pipelines to that particular area is uneconomical. So because of this, there is a certain stranglehold of these regulations, which I believe were well intentioned, but later on they have become so they are not neither helping the customers, because they have created certain monopolies, and nor the competition in the market. So that is where I believe the primary regulatory challenge is, and a lot of litigation is already going at High Court and Supreme Court and other Delhi High Court and other courts also. So I believe that is primarily the challenge. Secondly, petroleum has not been brought under the GST regime, and VAT is applicable. So because of VAT, it has got its own challenges and we being a trading company, LNG trading company. So, and additionally, let me also explain you as to what our group is doing. So, as you introduced me as responsible for Greenline, actually, I'm responsible for two companies. One is
I saw.
Greenline, and the other is Ultra Gas and Energy Limited.
Limited. Part of Essar Group.
Yeah, and both companies are part of Essar Group. So what Essar Group is doing, it is there's something called Essar Energy Transition. So where Essar Group is basically trying to decarbonize India's automotive sector through setting up an LNG based ecosystem in the trucking and logistics sector. So what we have done so far, we have got some 600, 700 trucks which are LNG based, and we are also coming with our own EV setup. So there is a company which is again a group company only, which is which provides which manufactures LNG power trucks and also EV trucks. The other is the Ultra Gas, which is setting up LNG retail outlets all across the highways, and so to supply LNG. And then we are, the other entity is also coming with the EV charging stations. So EV trucks are going to give you transportation services for short distances, 100 kilometers, 150 kilometers, and long haul trucking through LNG power trucks. So, and the third entity, which is the Greenline, which is essentially the trucking company and the logistics company, which is providing the. So all these three things collectively are providing a complete ecosystem, a complete solution, so that it becomes much more easier to provide uh, 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 to provide to decarbonize India's automotive sector, basically.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Okay. Since it will be now more interesting me as you laid what do you say, by what is Essar's vision. Now, that was Essar's vision. So, what is the role of a corporate legal? Like you are the head of the legal, you have to deal with different stakeholders because there is environment is also being affected and transportations. So, how do you manage those contracts? Okay, they are watertight, and what goes into those contracts?
Okay. So I will start with basically as to how law functions. Law is something like which is in an amorphous state. And amorphous is something which is wafting through the air. It is like air, it is everywhere. But it is not crystallized. The moment any transaction takes place or any event takes place, so whatever applicable law on the subject matter of whatever has happened, law crystallize with respect to that. So, like if you file an FIR and you state that these people are responsible, or this is what has happened, or you suppose lease out your land, and so who's leasing the land, who's taking the land on lease, where the land is located. So everything, right from your stamp duty to registration to to your jurisdiction and the payments and how the payments would be made, and everything would come into picture depending upon the facts and circumstances of that particular thing. So as you said, so how do I manage, or how do I manage my contract? So I basically have to understand as to what all is involved, who all are involved. So I have to ensure not only the win-win situation, that so that it does not become a hardship for the other party. It becomes that the other party is also profitable. At the same time, I have to take care of the interests of my company, so that whether it is in terms of payments or it is in terms of other things, everything is sufficiently safeguarded. So that is my outlook on contracts and all that.
Oh, beautiful. So, as you said, ki, your company is focused on decarbonization. So, recently we had done a panel discussion on ESG. So, how is your company as well as SR working towards ESG, and uh, what do you, using this forum, uh, what steps should companies, those who are involved in ये green energy, clean energy, and transmission should focus for their agreements for decarbonization?
So as far as compliance is or law is, basically we basically have to understand that there are two parts to law. One is letter, the other is spirit. Now you may take advantage of the letter and forego the spirit part of it. But if you have to follow something in its letter and its spirit, I believe the right way to for going towards it is basically what you all have to do is understand as to how it is done or how it should be done. So we are is an ESG compliant, though we are not listed entities as such, so that is not applicable on us. But yes, BRSR kind of things are there, which we are guided to follow. And secondly, ESG basically there's a scoring is also done, so on the basis of which different players who come and invest into your companies. So your ESG score is material. And so there I believe so in one of the meetings I spoke and I said that every person who's a stakeholder in the company, or every manager or every individual who's contributing anything towards the company or the work that is to be done, he has to first consider the ESG aspects of whatever he is going to do. If he starts thinking, so it is like doing something by design. If it is there, the seed is there, that you have taken a decision which is where you were conscious about ESG, then everything will fall into line and you will essentially become ESG compliant automatically without even thinking about it. If you start thinking, you start your planning your work from that angle.
Yeah, beautiful. So Ajay, what are the key elements required for an in-house head legal with relation to the management, according to you?
So not just the management, basically the thing starts from the vision of the group or the promoters or the company that you're working for. Why they are there, what they intend to do. So everything, as I said, that law is in an amorphous state. So everything, so you basically being somebody who knows law, and also you are aware of how the business is about to be done. So it is basically the correct matchmaking and the correct, so the both are brought together in such a manner, in such harmonious manner, so that you are legally compliant also, and also your business is not negatively affected. So you have to interpret law, study law in such a manner that ultimately your business is also not negatively affected and you are also compliant with law. So that is, I believe, is the correct way of you are advising, whether you are advising your promoters or your management or your business managers and all that. And towards that, how do I move is that I believe in that first, as a lawyer and as a head of the department, I first must keep myself updated on every development, whichever is there, depending upon the kind of business that I'm into. That is one aspect of it. Secondly, I also need to sensitize my business teams how the entire chain works, right from contracting to litigation to complaints to regulatory actions, whatever takes place, I have to basically sensitize towards them. And that is why I keep on doing regular trainings also for my people or for my business teams, so that they are at least aware as to what is stamp duty, what is the importance of a non-disclosure agreement or a non-compete agreement or a non-solicit agreement, or for that matter, and this is essentially a preliminary documentation, then you get into the definitive contracts. So you basically have to, you are like a movie director. So you have to envisage everything in that sense. And right from end to, you have to calculate everything from start to end. As to it, at this point, this is going to start, this is going to be the middle, this is going to be the end. So if you plan it like that and think about everything like that, then I think everything falls into place.
Ah, beautiful. So you're the movie director of company.
Just a way of explaining.
I know.
I'm essentially a humble lawyer. Nothing else.
Our coffee speaker is humorous.
जी जी.
So they add that fun element during the conversation.
Right,
So
right,
there are
right.
many speakers.
Yeah.
So I'm planning to do a panel discussion with your permission, Apna, on like we've started a coffee corner panel discussion. Now 2 days back we did on Father's Day. We've done ESG. We've done on data privacy, cyber safety. Now I want to do on clean energy and decarbonization.
Right.
It's a very interesting topic.
I think
and
it should be, and
yes,
additionally, it will bring public awareness also.
yes. So that's what coffee speakers that we are not only covering your journey and bringing smiles.
Yeah.
So we also undertake this panel discussion where awareness like that, so many things.
Right.
So okay, so that was good topic. It is. Yeah. So Ajay, how has the leadership style evolved over 24 years of your legal career?
Come again, I didn't get
How has
it.
the leadership style evolved over 24 years?
Leadership stride.
Leadership style.
Style. My leadership
Yeah,
style.
yeah. Your leadership style. How has it evolved over
If
in
you
your
have to be,
24 years career?
if you have to be the leader, don't think of yourself as a leader. That is the first thing which I believe. So anything and everything, you basically have to see the situations and figure out as to who's going to do what, assign them the tasks, make them responsible, empower them, and don't micromanage people. If you micromanage, then people get confused. And also, you're not letting their talent and knowledge come out. So if the fruition of that has to take place, I believe you basically have to empower people, allow people. And if you do that, and you basically remain cognizant like a coordinator as to who's doing what and where one is lacking, and you just pitch in wherever you are required. So that kind of situational awareness, I believe, so situational awareness is one thing, empowering people is another thing, and allowing them sufficient time, resources, and space. I believe that is how my leadership style. If though I do not call myself a leader, I believe I am a humble contributor towards whatever I do. So, but that is how, if I am given a team to do certain things, so this is how I basically proceed.
Wow. So Ajay, who has influenced you as being a mentor from the legal world?
Who has influenced me?
Yeah.
So there's Mr. Dheeraj Malhotra, who is a practicing lawyer in Delhi, and he was previously a partner with a Bombay-based law firm only called Desai and Divanji. And I consider him as my guru in law, and he has been, so whatever little that I know, from whatever greater depth of knowledge that person has, so whatever I've been able to learn, imbibe from him, right from work ethic to style of working to approach towards working, everything I believe. So Mr. Dheeraj Malhotra has been a great influence on me.
Wow. So let's come to this topic of how technology and AI is impacting in-house, especially with clean energy, renewable and LNG.
So I'll give you this example that every other day there are 2-3 phone calls to me, and everybody is saying that we've got this AI-enabled solution. So now I've created, or I've created a single simple answer to all those questions or queries. I say that, see, and everybody is basically asking you for time to come and explain it to me, or my Zoom time on Zoom and all that. So I simply tell them, boss, I know what you are going to offer. These services are similar because AI does certain things in certain manner, and you are providing, so same solution is there. The only differential would be in the pricing. So you tell me your pricing. If I find it competitive, I will take it before my board or my people and or my CEOs, and then if we believe it is worth, or if the cost benefits fit analysis we believe is helping us, then we'll definitely proceed towards that. So that is how I believe, because ever since this AI thing has come, it's flooded with such solutions. So now it has become kind of this this too much of AI. I believe it definitely is an excellent tool, but you also need to understand whether it is going to help you or not. So I generally tell them that, boss, the kind of contracts I am currently handling, my companies are startup companies. I do not have any litigation, not much, very less litigation. So I do 100, 150 contracts in a month. For that, my team is sufficient. And I do not believe that at this point in time, if I am doing a turnaround of 2,000 contracts in a month, then I will definitely believe that yes, AI is going to, because any product is going to cost you in lakhs. So if that is going to be there, then I have to justify the cost to my people also, to my leadership also. So as I told you that I essentially work I believe that I am a trustee of my company. And and if I have to discharge that trust, then I must be honest and truthful in both letter and spirit, as I said earlier. So that is how I approach it.
Wow, beautiful. So let's go to your next role. You've been a consulting editor for Lex Witness.
Yeah.
How important is legal journalism in today's regulatory climate?
Sir, journalism is the lifeblood of any democratic setup.
Yes. Right.
And if rule of law is to be there, rule of law cannot be correctly done if correct information is not allowed to flow through the society. And journalist is someone who who collects facts, does its analysis, or simply gives the facts also. So giving facts is reporting, and doing analysis is kind of editorial function. So if correct facts are corrected and in their correct letter and spirit, then I believe is the correct journalism. But but the state of journalism, currently is, and media has also earned a bad name for itself. But yes, I believe on the first principle basis, legal journalism likewise is also equally important, because not many people know about the legal system, how legal processes function, how different courts are, what other different tribunals are. So I believe there's a lot of scope where substantial issues which are going to be decided, and if they are going to be decided, then people require to be informed on those issues. So in that sense, I believe legal journalists can play a definitely great role. So that is where I believe legal journalism is very important.
Wow, beautiful. And I've seen that you also create your videos on life philosophy. You are very active on Quora. So what got you interested in this?
Come again, please. I do my videos, and
yeah, you do your videos, you
Right.
create on life philosophy,
Yeah.
or you're very active on Quora. So what made you get interested in making
Yeah.
on this? Because this is
sir,
a beautiful topic.
Viren sir, the thing is that I believe my journey and whatever. So I will simply quote a line from a song, and which was sung by, I believe, Kishore Kumar, and नमकीन फिल्म का गाना है. उसकी लाइन है कि धूप में जो जल गए तो साया हो गए. So I know as to what all our hardships are there when you go out into the field and you are not aware about things. So I believe that somebody who can explain things, situations to you in a much friendly way, and not like somebody who's sitting on a high pedestal and like a guru. If somebody can explain things, life situations to you in a very friendly manner, then your journey becomes much easier. The time you would spend in figuring out as to what exactly you want to do, where you want to go, that can also be reduced. So I believe the entire life cycle of your success or your failure can be much reduced depending upon if you can get a good guru. So that is, I believe that. So I talk about a lot on life, friendship, different aspects of life, your work ethic, your anything from culture to music to poetry to literature. So I talk about all that and how all that can be brought into your life, so that your journey becomes not only focused but also interesting, and so it is an enjoyable journey towards your goals. So that is where I believe what has inspired me to do my video thing.
Wow. So my last question, what's your advice to emerging lawyers aspiring to take up general counsel roles or lead in-house teams, especially to sectors like green energy, clean energy?
Yeah. So see, lawyers generally, whosoever takes up law, I believe they generally are very smart people, and they already have. If you go into a 5-year law college, so you already have made up your mind that okay, this is going to be my career. So they basically already know everything about it. The only thing is basically to understand what the business that your company is into, the different challenges, be it regulatory challenges or other challenges, legal challenges, or so you basically have to marry business necessities with the legal requirements. So business necessities are also to be taken care of, and legal compliances are also to be done. So how wisely you do it is the real key. How you interpret law, how you take help of the external counsels also, how you take helps of senior counsels also in a given situation, so that you ultimately you bring certain value to your company. If you can do that, I believe then you are a success. Otherwise, so in that sense, in-house legal counsel is a role of somebody who's like a widow, as was. So we are there to guide. But generally what happens is that people, those who are into law, they believe that they know too much, and they start doing things in such a manner that I always tell my people, that my teammates, that we are not here to expound law or tell them theories, because for the business managers, whatever we are saying, it is gibberish. They don't understand. They say, yeah, give me a solution. Don't give me this law or that law or this theorem or that. No, nobody is interested in that. So you basically have to bring it, any concept which is there, to you have to interpret it in such a manner, in such a manner that everybody can understand, so that the message is put across and everybody is able to comprehend whatever you said, and then bring it in their whatever processes they are dealing with, or doing it. So once that is, so your essential ability is to do the. So there was a book called Interpreter of Melodies by Jhumpa Lahiri. So basically you have to be an interpreter of the melodies, whatever problems, challenges are there. So you should be able to interpret it for the business. Whatever business is saying, if you are going to brief a senior counsel, you should be able to communicate it in legal terms to the senior counsel. So you essentially are kind of a bridge. So that is, I believe, essentially a role of an in-house counsel, and that is, if somebody is ready for that, then he must get into the role of in-house counsel.
Wow, beautiful. So let's go to the next round and understand Ajay as a person. Tell us about your family and your formative years.
Okay. So as I said, that I am a native of Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh, and there's a small village called Tekanpur, where Border Security Force Academy is there. So my father was serving there in Border Security Force, and so I've lived life of a villager also, and but at the same time I was. If you cross the road, you have got the first world kind of facilities in being in the Border Security Force kind of environment, and once you come to this side of the road, you've got a typical village with its own strengths and weaknesses, whatever you may say. So that is where I started from. But I was somebody who was very interested in learning and reading and all that. So I was member of Border Security Force Library. So most of the time I used to spend there. So that is where I started from, and then I went to Chandigarh to do my graduation in law, because I did not want to do it at my city, because I believe that if I go out, I'll be able to explore myself, my possibilities, my whatever I'm capable of doing, and away from home. So I believe that gave me a lot of time to think, to ideate, to articulate as to what exactly I want to do, and that is how I have gotten into this profession.
Wow. Okay. So, Ajay, how do you unwind after a high pressure work week in Mumbai's corporate landscape?
I, as I said, that apart from reading, I've stopped reading. I've stopped reading since 2012 because by then my own style ideas had started happening. So that is how this Quora thing and this YouTubing has come into play. So I have not read. So, and besides the kind of work that I do, so there's a lot of reading already involved into it. So I listen to music, a lot of music. I listen to qawwalis, ghazals. So I'm a big fan of Ustad Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan Sahab. So I then ghazals, Mehdi Hasan Sahab, Ghulam Ali, and you name it. I've listened to everybody. So that is my way of unwinding myself in this great city called Mumbai.
Wow. So, what's a childhood memory that brings smile on you whenever you look back?
I'm back from where? I'm back from where? You said what brings me smile?
What's a childhood memory that brings smile when you reflect on it?
There are many. There are not just one. There are many memories, especially the way our mother and father both worked so hard, and they're very honest, sincere, hardworking people, very simple people, and how they, they're single-minded focus. Both of them are not much educated. My father is 11th class pass, and my mother is 5th class pass. And when my father was 16 and my mother was 13 when they got married. So, but those people who they in today's world they'll not be called educated in the strict sense of the term, but my mother has been so worldly wise. She gave us such great values that wherever we go, we are able to create a name for ourselves, create or carve out our own identities simply because of the work ethic and outlook. Because a story, a very short, very small incident which my mother tells us many times over is that once there was somebody had misplaced this thing geometry box, and I happened to find it, and I brought it at home. So my mother saw it and she said, "What is this?" I said, "This is something which I have found." So she said, "ये जहाँ से लेकर आए हो वापस करके आओ." तो मैंने कहा वहाँ तो कोई था ही नहीं, वो तो सड़क पे पड़ा हुआ था। तो अगर सड़क पे पड़ा हुआ था तो सड़क पर ही फेंक करके आ जाओ। मैंने कहा नहीं नहीं, ये मुझे मिला है, मैं क्यों दूँ? कहते नहीं बेटा, ये गलत बात है। So not if even if there's not a person and you've taken and there's no taker from it and you want to take it, still they said their idea was that whatever you have earned, you should claim your right over that, only over that.
Yes.
Whatever you've not earned, you should not crave for it or fight for it. It will bring weaknesses into your personality. You will not be a responsible person. You will not be an honest person. You will not be somebody who will be proud of himself. So because you have gotten an ill-gotten thing. So that is, I believe, my this thing is.
Wow. So, Ajay, you have lived in different cities, Gwalior, you're near the border, Chandigarh, Delhi, and now Mumbai.
Yeah.
Which is the favorite city and why?
Delhi is my jaan. I love Delhi. Delhi's got, see.
Why? If someone wants to visit Delhi, what would you suggest to check the beautiful places and for food?
Yeah. So when I was in class 8th, so as I said that there was a book called Delhi by Sardar Khushwant Singh, and it was translated in Hindi, Dilli Meri Jaan. So I happened to read it. So I fell in love with the way the entire story of the city was narrated, the great buildings which are there and different things, and being the national capital. Because I believe that, suppose for example, essentially Arvind Kejriwal would not have gotten that kind of popularity had he not contested the election from Delhi. Had he contested it from somewhere from Assam or from some place in a smaller place in Maharashtra or any, for that matter, any place, he would not have gotten that kind of prominence and this thing had he not done it from Delhi. So I believe Delhi is some place where you, and secondly, wherever you go in India, there's a concept of son of the soil. So locals would always question your presence at a place, and they would always say you are an outsider. So I've figured it out that Delhi is a place where everybody is from outside, so nobody is going to question your this thing. Secondly, as I said, that even if you do a very little thing, the chances of getting prominence is much higher. Though the economic opportunities are much greater in Mumbai, and Mumbai is a behemoth in that sense, is massive as compared to Delhi. Delhi is not that massive in terms of of course politically and everything it is there, but so far as economic things are concerned and the business are concerned and everything. So Mumbai is much massive as compared to Delhi. But Delhi has got its own. See what Bombay does. Bombay takes out two very important things out of your life. One is time. The other is space. People say one 2-3 days back I was reading a notice in my building and it said very proudly said we 660 square feet 2-bedroom house being provided on rent. 660 feet square feet, and what is this? Usually 1500 square feet or 2000 square feet is the usual size of a flat. So you are essentially there's not much space here. There's a secondly, Bombay I believe is like a conveyor belt. In the airport, you are like some kind of a suitcase which is sitting there, and it is kind of a merry-go-round. And everybody is in Delhi. If you start, you happen to have your colleagues. 5 in the morning, as office is over, you can go to a place. You can have a couple of drinks. You can have your dinner, and by 10, everybody is free, and everybody can go home and come back. Here, if he does not, poor fellow does not leave at 5, he will miss his train and his entire life. So Bombay takes out time out of your life and space out of your life. And I believe these two things are the most important things for you to live a really good life. So that is where I believe Bombay people are challenged. And secondly, everybody has got its own sensitivity about food or sensibilities about food. So Bombay or Maharashtra people have their own sensibilities about food. So initially, when I ate this vada pav, I just couldn't understand what is this, and people go gaga over it. Oh, vada pav, man, pata nahi vada pav, what is vada pav? Then I'm not ridiculing it, but for a Delhiite, because अगर वो एक आलू भी इस्तेमाल करेंगे ना, उसके अंदर वो इतने किस्म के मसाले और भर देंगे और हर दुकान पर वो डिफरेंट फ्लेवर होगा. यहाँ पर वो स्टैंडर्ड फेयर जैसा ही है, सब जगह पर एक ही जैसी चीज आपको मिलेगी. वो पाव के साथ तो कुछ करते ही नहीं है, पाव तो बेचारा ऐसे ही सूखा जाता है. But I believe that it is basically there to it is there to feed everyone, and it is everybody's everybody owns vada pav. So right from a rickshaw puller to a big shot, everybody can have it. So I believe that is where it is. And so far as the food is concerned, so Delhi has got, as I told you, that Delhi, it's a massive city. It's essentially has got its transformation so many times over. You've got a Shahjahanabad, you've got New Delhi, you've got Tughlaqabad, you've got Siri. So Siri is from your Khilji days. Tughlaqabad is from your Tughlaq days. Your Shahjahanabad or this old Delhi is basically from your Mughal days. Then 1911, when English come over and make Delhi their capital. So you got New Delhi. So there's so much in Delhi. Every nook and corner you'll find a historical building, which does not happen here. Secondly, every nook and corner or every other street food vendor has got such fabulous food. You go anywhere, everywhere. The area where I was living in Delhi previously, from my flat, when I used to come down, there used to be a dhaba nearby. Just a small walk and you're there. सवेरे, मैं इसको हिंदी में ही कहूँगा क्योंकि फ्लेवर नहीं आ पाएगा बात का। वो 8 बजे सवेरे उसने छोले बनाए होते थे, और क्या कहते हैं उसको,
पूरी।
आलू नहीं, आलू का कुलचा,
अच्छा,
और तंदूरी आलू का कुलचा।
हम्म।
भाई साहब अगर आप वो खा लें ना, आप जन्नत में हैं, मतलब यू जस्ट डू नॉट नो,
I know.
ठीक है, कि आप मतलब व्हाट यू आर मिसिंग हियर, ठीक है। एंड इफ यू गो टू पुरानी दिल्ली, ओल्ड दिल्ली, देयर सो मेनी ईटरीज, सो मेनी ईटरीज, मतलब you can, if you're a non-vegetarian, मतलब the most famous is the Kareem's, then there used to be a halwa called Ghante Wala, or many more things like that. In fact, I read a book on Old Delhi called Dillo Danish by क्या नाम था उनका, I'm forgetting the lady's name. So उसमें एक 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 मिठाई मेंशन की थी जो मुझे पहले नहीं पता थी, जिसको पिस्ते की लौंज कहते हैं, ठीक है। So I read that in that book, then I went and searched for that mithai wala and had that pishte ki launch. It was a fabulous food. So, so Delhi is something so much, so many layers of history and culture and food and music and everything is there, which is not here in Mumbai. It is more professional in that sense. So I believe, so that is essentially the distinction between the two cities.
I can understand. Okay. That is another topic, Delhi, Mumbai.
Yes,
So,
yes.
okay. What are your plans for 2025 personally and professionally?
See, the stage of life I am in, it is essentially a very long road. You are on a highway and you're sitting in an LNG truck and you have to go for 1,000 kilometers. And it is straight road. There's nothing. You just have to keep driving. So that is, I believe, what my plans are for 2025 as well. Keep doing whatever I am doing, right from supporting family to do my work as responsibly as I can for both the companies that I'm responsible for.
Wow.
Those are my plans.
Beautiful. So my last one is a googly one. Describe Ajay in one line.
So Ajay is, I'll give you not one line, I'll give you 3 words.
Okay.
And that is where my philosophy comes into play. So Sutradhar, Sulahkar and Sahyatri. These 3 words are essentially something which I've been thinking over for last 2008, means 17, 18 years I've been thinking on these lines. So Sutradhar is someone who's basically, as I said earlier also, that धूप में जो जल गए तो साया हो गए. So if there are, I believe, situation have their own equations. So if you are able to work out equations, then you have got solutions for them. Those solutions I call as sutra. So somebody who's the holder of those sutras is Sutradhar. That Sutradhar has to implement those sutras to make others' life easy, either business or somebody's personal life, both can be made easy through those sutras. So, and when you make that happen, that is, you bring harmony into their lives or peace into their lives. So you are doing the function of a sulhakar. Somebody who's bring sulh, peace, calm into their lives or whatever they are doing. And Sahyatri. As a co-traveler, I want to speak about all that. So that is, I believe, these 3 words explain me.
Wow.
Or my endeavor in life.
So let's put you in the hot seat, the rapid fire round.
Please.
Your, what do you say, favorite comfort food after a long day?
My favorite food, comfort food, tandoori chicken.
Wow. Contract drafting or courtroom argument?
Contract drafting.
Most used phrase at work?
Boss is always right.
Early morning meetings or late night brainstorming?
Late night, any day. I'm not an early morning fellow.
Your favorite color?
The one I'm wearing, blue, white and blue.
Okay. Best piece of advice received?
Best piece of advice received. So as I said, my guru has given me 2 sutras, which I believe are very important. He has said that devil is in detail. So if you go into the details of anything and everything, you will find both flaws as well as strengths. So as lawyers, if we get into the details, so if I delve into details of a thing, I'll be able to, if I'm working against somebody, I'll be able to find weaknesses there. If I have to support a case, I'll be able to find strengths. So that is, so devil is in detail is one mantra. The other is assumption. He said, never assume anything because assumption makes an S out of you. So whenever somebody says something, I say, how do you know? Have you verified it, whatever is being said? So that verification, going back and checking again, makes you, brings you on a much stronger platform.
Wow. Your dream travel place?
My dream travel place, Himachal, any day.
Wow.
ठंडा इलाका मुझे पहाड़ मुझे बहुत पसंद है. I love पहाड़.
Tea, coffee, or green juice?
Tea.
Let's toast. So you did well, and here's your book.
Thank
Your
you.
gift. Wait.
Thank
I've
you.
already autographed.
Wow. Wow, wow. Thank you. So nice of you.
So, friends, it was a lovely conversation having with Ajay. He's a Delhi boy.
I'm a Delhi boy.
Delhi boy.
I'm essentially an Indian. Entire country
You're
belong. I
Indian.
belong to
I'm
entire
just,
country.
happy the way you have that feelings for Delhi.
Delhi, I love.
Yeah, so everyone.
Sweetheart.
I love Mumbai. So मैं
Nice.
आपको मुंबई की बात करूँगा तो फिर वो हो जाता है तो ऐसे that's another topic.
Correct.
Everyone has. By the
Correct.
way, I'm a Telugu by
Oh,
birth.
wow.
So I'm maybe Indian ही हो गया ना.
Correct, correct, correct.
That's why I love dosas.
Correct.
I love अपना South Indian food.
Correct.
But I'm a foodie, so I like all varieties of food, whether Indian,
Yeah.
अपना ये international cuisine, whatever.
Right.
So yeah, food makes me. And now this coffee conversation. So friends, watch the episode. All those legal professionals out there who want to enter the field of clean energy, green energy, LNG distribution. It's a niche area. Watch this episode and connect with Ajay. How the contracts are being weighed and how to be the part of legal team and contribute, because this is where decarbonization very much needed in India for the environment, then ESG. So many things you are working for a new, better India. So like that, there are 500 coffee speakers who have contributed with their personal, professional journey insights. And yes, like I said, Ajay has interest into life philosophy, so many things, and he has quoted so many beautiful quotations, and he's a fan of Ghazal. So if you want to be featured like Ajay, visit our website, the Emerging India Forum, or our LinkedIn page, the Emerging India Forum, or connect with us coffee speakers. They will definitely put in a word if you have some interesting journey to share out. So they would invite you, our team, and to have coffee conversations.
And just one thing, last thing, which I want to say is disclaimer: all views are personal, and nothing is official or here. Thank you.